Hi everybody, welcome to another Born to Read from Home. Our Born to Read videos are aimed at the parents of babies 0 to 18 months of age, so that's our smallest Vaughan Public Library's babies, and I'm always happy to do some story times for you. But just as a reminder, if you are enjoying my videos with your babies, it's always best to keep them facing you instead of me. They'd really rather see your face than Kasey's face anyway. I'm sure my face is fine, but it's not as important as yours. Alright, are we ready for our storytime train today? I sure hope we are. Let's all get excited. Here we go. Oh, the storytime train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. The storytime train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. Oh, the storytime train is coming. The storytime train is coming. Oh, the storytime train is coming. How are you? Choo choo. And we say hello to our friends. How are you? Choo choo. And we say hello to our friends. How are you? Choo choo. And we say hello to our friends. We say hello to our friends. Oh, we say hello to our friends. How are you? Choo choo. Because the more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Now, I always do my sign language during the more we get together. And I always like to try to teach you some more practical baby signs that you can use with your baby. It's never too early or too late to start baby sign with your baby. And one of the fun things about baby sign, which I've said before, is that often babies are capable of communicating in sign before they're ready to talk yet. Because the motor skills for a lot of signs, especially the simplified baby signs, come earlier than the motor skills required to use your tongue and your mouth and having the teeth that you need to really make some of those sounds. So today I would like to teach you the sign for sleep and also bed. So I might as well give you both. You can sort of use them somewhat interchangeably with a baby because you can ask them if they want to sleep or you can ask them if they want bed. Same thing, whatever. So the sign for sleep, you take your hand and spread out the fingers over your face and draw it down. Bring your fingers together. You can also close your eyes as you do this, so sleep like you're going to sleep. Sleep. Just like that. And for bed, you take both hands, make them into that little pillow over here, put your head on it. That's bed. So sleep and bed. Very simple. All right. Now, I've talked a lot in recent weeks about helping your baby transition from one part of the day to the other. And today we're talking about sleep and bedtime, which is often one of our hardest transitions during the day, right? Getting your baby to bed and to sleep and giving you maybe a little break. So one of the things that's useful for having as happy a bedtime as you can, although there's no magic trick to get your baby to always happily go to sleep, of course, you should try to establish a bedtime routine. I've talked about routines before as well and how they're useful for babies. It gives them a sense of security and stability for their days to sometimes have predictable things in them. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel like they can trust you. These are all great things to establish early on, and it's never too early. And it's also never too late to try to establish a bedtime routine with your little one. There's lots of ways to do a bedtime routine. Pajamas, often a very useful part of it. Talk to them about their pajamas. Make sure they know the difference between their pajamas and their daytime clothes so that they know when you're transitioning to the long sleep time, right? Even if they're not sleeping through the night, they should know that at least when they do wake up to eat or whatever, they're going to go back to sleep right away. Ideally. So pajamas are a good part of your bedtime routine. Toothbrushing, of course. If your baby has teeth already, by 18 months most babies have one or two, I think, at least. Some have lots more. You might even have molars in there. All right, so toothbrushing, important part of your bedtime routine. And some stories together, some nice calm stories. You can even start with a couple fun ones and lead into calm ones. And lullabies are a very good way to end your bedtime. Some people like to do the same bedtime story every night. Maybe have a couple that change up and then one last story that's always the same. And by the same token, some people like to sing the same lullabies to their baby every night. My baby got wise to these things. She started hating that one story that was her last story every night. We had to stop doing that. And she also started hating her lullabies. So now we do different ones every night. And we ask her which song she'd like to sing. It's a good way to give your baby a little independence, offer them choices, always a good thing to do. So that's a little talk about bedtime routine. Of course, it's not as easy as I made it sound. Do your best. Work with your baby. You know your baby better than I do, so you'll know what routine will work for them better than I do. All right. So that said, let's do a little lullaby together today. I'd like to do a classic one called Hush Little Baby. This is a very, very old lullaby. It goes like this. Hush little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat. If that billy goat won't pull, Mama's gonna buy you a cart and bull. If that cart and bull fall down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. So this is actually a very useful lullaby because there's lots of ways you can change it up. You don't need to say Mama's gonna buy you. You can alternate between parental titles if you've got two different parental titles, so you can do Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird, but then maybe Daddy's gonna buy that diamond ring, or whatever other titles or names you want to use there. And I also have occasionally replaced some of the verses because I forget them. I think I skipped to when I just sang it to you there. It doesn't really matter. The way I sing it to my baby at home now, because I forgot that the diamond ring turns brass, and I used to sing it as the diamond ring won't shine. So then we couldn't get the looking glass. We got Mama's gonna buy you a fishing line, which the fishing line can also get broke, just like looking glass, so it worked out okay. You can always try to improvise if you get lost in a song. All right. So that's one of the lullabies you could try with your baby. And now we're going to do a little rhyme together. Just a nice sweet one. We're going to bring Prepe in to help us out because we need Prepe's cute face for this rhyme. Of course, as usual, if you're doing this rhyme with your baby, it's very best to have you facing each other. This will become obvious when I get to the end. But again, I'll have Prepe facing you while I do it so you can see what I'm doing with his face as I recite it. So it goes like this. It's called The Moon is Round. The moon is round as round can be. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, like me. So this is a very good face-to-face rhyme with your baby. It's always very good for your baby to look at your face a lot. It works like a mirror for them. It is how they learn what their face looks like to some extent. Or at least that they have eyes and a nose and a mouth, like you, of course. And looking at your face helps your baby bond with you and be connected with you. All right, so let's do that rhyme one more time. The moon is round as round can be. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, like me. It's a fun way to quickly bond with your baby and get them focused on you. Always good. Now for my lap bounce today, rather than a bouncy song, I'm going to do a rocking song. This one is called Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And with your little baby, there's several ways you can do this with them, depending on where they're at in their development. With the very littlest babies, of course, you're going to be supporting their head, and you can rock forward and back together like this. If they're a little bit older and they have a stable head there, you can hold their little hands and rock with them so that they're practicing their core strengths a little bit there. And if your baby is already sitting up independently, you can actually do this sitting on the floor together and holding hands and rocking together, so they're supporting themselves a lot more in that case. All right. You might know this one, so let's sing it together. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! That's a silly version of Row, Row Your Boat, but that's great. Thank you for doing this lap bounce with me, Pepe, this lap rock with me. And it's time for our goodbye song today. Our goodbye song, as always, is going to involve us clapping our hands and stomping our feet and waving goodbye together. So here we go. This is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands at the end of story time. And this is the way we stomp our feet, stomp our feet, stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet at the end of story time. And this is the way we wave goodbye, wave goodbye, wave goodbye. This is the way we wave goodbye at the end of story time. Goodbye! Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.